You better hope you're right and I'm wrong, because if they don't make the playoffs, it's gonna be the happiest time of my life.
I just think it's a bad early. I was texting a Warriors fan about this prior to, this episode. But it's just like, why does everything have to be, this is the end of this and all of that? I'm already hearing, we saw Stephen A, and we don't take anything Stephen A said seriously, but we saw Stephen A say today, they should trade for Kevin Durant. I'm like, why can't
so fucking stupid?
Why can't they just hoop? Why can't it be we just make defensive? And here's the thing, even if they're struggling defensively, kind of to your point, we saw Boston last season turn it from being a okay defensive team to being one of the most dominant defensive teams we've seen in a while. We've seen them turn that switch just like that. Why can't Golden State do it? That's my question.
But our expectations weren't that high as like they are with Golden State. I feel like our expectations are definitely way higher than with Golden State than they were with the Celtics, even when they were struggling.
So wouldn't it be easier to rely on them to flip that switch?
It would. That's a good point. It would. Damn it.
So I'm saying. So my whole thing is they suck right now, right? And there are reasons why they suck. But I think a lot. You said I know, but a lot. I think a lot of it is just a bad start. You know what I'm saying? The biggest point I want to make out of this is I'm hearing a lot of stuff about this being the end of this era, and we need to get Steph out of here so we can go ahead and they're not ruining his legacy and all of that. And Clay's watch. I just think it's a bad start, bro. I think it's all it comes down to.
That's crazy, people saying that, because that just means that they don't want Steph to go through trials and tribulations. They just want every time. They just want him to go through the sun, ride on this little horse, and win the championship every year. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
It's not Bill Russell. It doesn't even Tom Brady. It's a different sport. He ain't win one every damn shit. It felt like he won one every year, but he didn't win one every year. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
So even Michael Jordan, like, he had times like, damn, now he won 3-6 in a row. So he's different. But I'm just saying,
98 Bulls, to your point. Remember the last day, because we weren't alive, last dance. Then they get off to a shitty start to the season.
Yeah.
After winning a title.
Yeah, no, but my point is just like they don't want Steph to go through trials and tribulations. Like, he can't have tough moments, or the team can't have tough moments where they just in the play-in, and then they like, oh, they're just in the play-in. You need to blow it up if they don't make the playoffs, or so and so, or you need to trade Steph. He's too good to. I'm gonna be honest with you. Kobe went through this shit where his teams had made the playoffs a couple years. It happened. I don't think people know that, but LeBron obviously is going through it with the Lakers, and they think he went through it with his first couple years with Cleveland, so it's a little different. D-Wade went through it. KD went through it with the Seattle Supersonics before they was OKC Thunder. So great players go through this where they just have a year where they don't make the playoffs. It's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So even if they do make it and they're a play-in team, but they still make the playoffs, I mean, you just need to get in.
Yeah.
At that point too. So it's not they're overreacting when they say you might need to, I don't know, kind of get rid of Steph and rebuild. If they're saying that, that's crazy. Are the Warriors fans saying that?
That's Warriors fans.
They're ungrateful. That's what it is.
No, it's just people overreacting. I don't understand. It's not even with the Warriors, but like with other teams. I don't understand people saying, "Oh, their season's over." We're not even 20 games into the season. I mean, I would understand if we was like 40 or 50 games into the season, but it's what are the Warriors, like 5-8 or something like that?
Yeah, 6-9.
Yes, 6-9. We're not even barely 15 games into the season of an 82 game season. This is November. November is like the middle of November. Season goes all the way until April. I don't get that. I don't understand.
That's all I'm saying. And it's like, and it's like we're this amount of games in, and we're already thinking, even if it's not blow it up, we're already thinking trades. And this is my issue with modern NBA. And I was just texting this Warriors fan this. He knows who it is because he's listening he's going to be listening to the episode. Just texting him this. Everything is so transaction-based. Why can't it be just basketball? Why can't it be this team figures it out and they start hooping? Perfect example, Boston last year. I think they made one move before the deadline or whatever, but that wasn't the move that made them a better team. What it came down to was they just decided to make some internal changes. Just go out there and hoop. It doesn't always have to be, oh, this is over with, or let's go trade for 1 million guys. Go out there and hoop and make improvements where they need to be made.
The fans are spoiled because I guarantee you, before they start winning all these championships, they did not think like this. They were just happy to even make the damn playoffs.
Yeah,
they're spoiled. Every time they're in a little rut, they panic. Oh, we need to trade for, or we need to sign. I remember this Giannis bullshit. That shit made me so mad. Oh, we need to get Giannis in the offseason. Giannis coming over here. He ain't going with the Bucks. He ain't staying with the Bucks. Did that shit with them. Getting KD actually hurt them because it made the fans even. It made the fans even more like. it just made them harder to listen to.
Yeah.
No, they're
KD
just very entitled. I mean, rightfully so. After what that dynasty has done over the past couple of years. But I mean, it's not gonna last forever, man. They're not gonna play forever. They almost Steph 34 and Clay 33. Draymond is just not good. So I mean, I don't know what they. Somebody on Twitter had an interesting take. They said that Draymond and Jordan Poole incident. They think that that's kind of derailed the start for the team. I don't know y'all's opinion, but
that's a good approach that I didn't think about. Maybe, but then again, I mean, maybe it did, but I don't know. I feel like I know nobody's getting punched in the face to that extent, but every team goes through some shit where guys don't like each other or something like that. Even if that's the case, that's a good approach and that's a good angle to come from. I don't know, but I don't think that's it. I just really think, bro, it's just they're not playing great basketball and they're just not on the same page. I even look at last night. I think they zoned Phoenix really late, and there were just a lot of missteps out there on the perimeter, a lot of open shots given up. It's just basketball, and this guy's not out there going out there and playing the best way. It doesn't always indicate chemistry issues or some shit like that. It's not clicking right now.
It honestly might be us seeing that the people that they drafted are more offensive-minded people and not defensive. Like Jordan Poole's not going to play any defense. Like It just is what it is. And then you have your players. If you have two of your core players and they decline on defense, most of the time you're going to be like have a decline in the team, because if you drafted players that weren't really defensive-minded, but then you have two veterans on your team like Clay and Draymond who kind of decline defensively, you're probably going to struggle on defense. Just think about that.
True.
Somebody's going to decline somewhere. I mean, you ain't going to stay perfect at every every defensive set or offensive set your whole career. You go decline somewhere in your game.
So it's all it does is, and the biggest thing, like I said, out of this is we don't need to think 2 years down the road or even next year. We need to be thinking as far as postseason right now. It's just a big overreaction. A team is just not playing their best basketball right now. The fucking Sacramento Kings are in the playoff picture. I don't want to take any credit away from them. They're solid to watch, and they could stay in there because they are a very talented team, right? I'm not putting my money on it, but they could. But at the same time, why are we overreacting? Yeah, the Warriors are off to a slow start, but on the flip side, there are some teams right now who are in the playoff picture or who are pretty high in the standings that probably won't be here at this point in a couple weeks down the road. At this point last season, the Wizards were a top team in the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm glad you said that about the Western Conference. I'm gonna name you the teams and just tell me if you all think they're gonna stay there. So I'm gonna go 1 through 10 because you know the play in. So you got Portland at 1. Are they gonna stay?
They're not gonna stay 1.
No, they're not gonna stay 1, but do you think they're gonna stay in the playoffs?
Playing playoff picture,
Yeah, so when I name these teams, that's what I'm asking basically. And then you got the Suns. I'm assuming y'all gonna say yeah. And then you got the Nuggets, yes. The Jazz are interesting. I don't know about the Jazz.
Playing.
I say playing, and that's kind of surprising, honestly.
Yeah,
but they're playing very well. So I say playing. Definitely. They could sneak into a playoff spot if they keep doing what they're doing. But I think the realistic ceiling for them is either playing or just missing out on playoffs. I think after a while, it starts to simmer.
And then you got the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are going to make it.
They're staying in there.
Yeah, they're staying in there. And then you got the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are going to make it. And then you got the Luka-led Mavericks. Yes. I hope they stay in there, but they putting too much on Luka play. They need to chill out with that. Then you got the Sacramento Kings.
I think they're going to fall out.
They're going to fall out like they always do. We talked about this in the group chat actually. There's the Kings. You know what I'm saying? They can enjoy this little early season success, but after about game 20, game 30. It's back to business, which is losing games.
Yep. And then you got the Clippers. I'm thinking the Clippers are going to make it. Even the situation with Kawhi Leonard is very weird. But
was it just 8 for the play-in? Is it just 8 spots for the? I'm ruining the flow here, but is it just 8 spots for the play-in?
No, I mean for the play-in it's 7 through 10 who played.
Got you.
So that's what it is. So that's what I think. Like 7 play 10 and 8 play 9. I think that's how it goes, and then you just go from there. But then the 10 spot is the Timberwolves. Are they gonna stay in?
They're staying in.
Yeah. So the only people I can kind of see probably the Warriors replace is either probably the Jazz or the Kings. Maybe.
Yeah, and to me, they're just like I said. Even with that, there's just no way I'm putting every dollar in my bank account that they end up top 5 in the West, dude.
I don't know.
Because
you said that last year with the Lakers, them niggas didn't make it.
But now we're comparing a team that won a ring last year to a team that,
I mean, they won one the year before or whatever. So I guess it's a little different. The Lakers did.
Completely different
core. Yeah, it's a different. It's the even it's because of injury. Even the year after, they still barely made the playoffs. Because remember, they played the Warriors in the play-in.
Yeah,
remember that. So they barely made it. But I see what you're saying. You don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs? I do, because I don't want to see them win anymore. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see them win. So I'm always going to be the person that's going to be negative and say they're going to lose.
How much? Be honest here. Would you bet a fair amount of money on the Golden? Like, just be realistic. Would you bet a fair amount of money that Golden State doesn't make the playoffs?
No, I would.
The playoffs or the play-in?
I wouldn't put any money on it.
You're an
playoffs
idiot
or the playoffs or the play-in?
Playoffs.
Yeah. No, you're an idiot.
I don't know. They don't play defense, bro. I've actually sat down and watched these dudes play, and you can compare it to Boston, but Boston has dudes that are known for play defense, and they can do it. And I think they traded for Devin White. That's what you was talking about. Derek White.
Yeah,
Derek White. They traded for Derek White, so that made him a little bit even better. But Clay is not the same. He's not even the same on offense, and Draymond is just completely he's not a bum or anything. I don't want to call an NBA player a bum, but he's just an average player at this point to me. And then Jordan Poole's had a dip, so they probably will. I guess, okay, they probably will make it. But in the back of my head, I don't want them to. So I don't know.
It's like if a young Boston Celtics team can flip the switch defensively, then without a doubt, Klay Thompson and Draymond Green can flip the switch defensively. I think it's a matter of them getting to a point where they're like, let's fucking flip the switch. And that team can do it. Like the 98 Bulls, I know they were missing Pippen for a minute, but great teams know how to flip that switch. And it's hard. I would bet my last 3 paychecks from Mizzou that they can flip the script.
These young teams are getting better though. These teams in the West, these young dudes coming. I'm telling you, it's getting different.
It's true.
But people, it's getting different comparing it to the past when you're saying these great teams can flip it. No, these young dudes coming. You got Ja with the Grizzlies. You got Luka. You got Luka with the Mavs. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that easy as you trying to make it. Or they can flip the switch. No, the West got some young guns that's hard to beat right now.
And you did make the point, and we did kind of talk about this over the summer. The West is a little more stacked than it was last year. You know what I'm saying? Not to call their path fake or anything like that, because everybody runs into injuries and all of that stuff. But we did kind of say with teams like New Orleans, who's going to have a healthy Zion back, or with teams like the Clippers, who's going to have a healthy Kawhi, the Nuggets being back in the mix, we did say their path was going to be a little bit more different. But I just don't see this defensive thing staying the same. If I saw Boston with their young ass flip that switch defensively last year, then Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and all those guys flip that switch.
Keyword, you said young.
Man.
Klay Thompson's like 34 years old.
Yeah, he
and
is.
Draymond's probably like 33 or something. They're in their middle 30s, basically, if you want to be honest. So them dudes are like young. Them dudes still in their middle 20s.
Okay.
So it might be a little easier for them. Them dudes, the Golden State Warrior veterans have a lot of I don't want to say it like that, but have a lot of mileage.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do. Yes. I just, like I said, it's just, this team's been too good defensively the last couple of years. To me, I think they're just missing steps. And I think it's also an effort thing. I just think that's what it comes down to, because you can kind of see it a little bit. So I think there's a switch that can be flipped. They can flip it pretty easily. But for them to look so far down the road, that's just my biggest thing, is for them to look so far down the road. This ain't any of us doing it. But these fans look so far down the road. Is the dynasty over with, or all of this? And that's the dumbest shit in the world. Just go hoop. Just go hoop.
Meet me, talk to me at middle of January, and if they like 10 to fucking 25, and you still saying this, I'm just sticking with it.
Let's bet that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it. I'm not saying that. I'm kind of in between, because I don't want to sound like I'm just saying random shit. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it and this doesn't get better, because this is historically bad defense they're playing. Like, it's really that bad.
I think they'll get it together after a while, dude. Like I said, it's literally 15 games to the season. So
let me see how many.
Probably
giving up.
Because if we count them out, then we got to take the Kings seriously. That's my thing.
And I don't think.
But the Kings have given us reasons not to take them serious, though, because they've done stuff like this before.
I don't think any of us want to take the Kings seriously.
Yeah, so they're in the playing picture. So if we do that, we got to take. I'll say this: and we're gonna end the segment with this. If we take this Golden State start this seriously, then last year we would have had to take that Wizards start seriously, and think that they were a legit playoff contending team or whatever. And none of us wanted to do that.
Well,
so while we can talk about a slow start, look at some of these teams that are off to great starts that we know are gonna. You know what I'm saying? So. It's flip side.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
Yeah. It's I get what you're saying, but it's still Wizards weren't playing defense this damn bad. I guarantee you that. They gave up they gave up 100. Yeah. They gave up 100 points through 3 quarters. And that's not the first time they've done that this season. It's like 5 times or 6 times they've done that. That's bad. People don't do that. Even bad teams like the damn Magic, who actually have great young players, but they don't even do that on a consistent basis.
If this was Brooklyn, I'm confident that this will carry into the playoffs. But this is a team of guys who have been together. Their core has been together for almost a decade.
Yeah.
That's why
they old as hell too. All
that damn old. They old, but Clay's thing, but even Clay
they do have a lot of games on them, dude. So they legs not as young as they used to be. Plus you got all these young teams across, you got all these young teams around Memphis.
I'm telling you.
New Orleans, I would say they're fairly young. Okay, well, I won't say
they ain't doing shit
in a couple of years.
Yeah, they go drop.
But then they just beat a young team last year in the finals.
Who
doesn't that contradict y'all point?
I'm drawing a blank.
Boston.
No, but I'm saying they're clearly not that same team we saw in the finals. And even if you're saying they beat a team that was a young team in the finals, we all know Boston. They sold this year. They should have won. They was winning by 15. It was winning by 15 and 20 points, damn near at least 3 games in a row, and they sold. But that just comes with experience. So that goes with what you're saying. But no, I agree. I got you.
That goes with what I'm saying. Look, no,
I got you. It goes with what you're saying, but they're not playing the same right now as that team. And that team is just not that far. I get they had Otto Porter, but he's Otto Porter. You can replace that. Like you can replace a player like him. And who else was on their team that not
Otto Porter? The point was there are a lot of role play. What they did now, and I just read an article on this, they're trying to phase in some of the younger guys, like the Mose Moody's and all that. And that could be a little bit of an issue. Like you look at Lamb now, he's on the court a lot more. So I think that's part of their issue is they're trying to bring in some of those younger dudes and try to get them to learn stuff. And it's just not working because you even look at the James Wiseman thing too. So
you look at Jonathan Kuminga.
He's been mid too.
Yeah, he got 0 minutes last night.
So do you think I think it could also be because some of these young guys aren't ready yet.
Yeah, no, I said that. I said you can kind of tell the players they drafted, they really aren't defensive minded like the players that the Warriors had on their team in the past. And then you can factor in that their main core dudes are kind of getting older. That's the reality of it. Yeah. Steph clearly is not bothered by age. He's like averaging 33 points. But Clay and Draymond are kind of. Draymond was never like a great offensive player, and we all know that. But his defense is even starting to decline. So if he's not great at offense, I don't know what that's about. If he's not even great at offense and he's not good at defense, what the fuck is he doing on the court?
Yeah, he's inexcusable. Because it's not even. I can't even use age with him because even at this age, Rodman was still a dominant defensive player.
Because at least Clay, he has torn his ACL twice, so you can fall back on that. But even Clay, he's not even been great on offense, and he's been subpar on defense. Him too. So it's it has something to do with them drafting young players that don't really have that defensive mindset, but also their 2 main core dudes, Draymond and Clay, not really playing where we're used to seeing them playing or where we're accustomed to seeing them how they play. Yeah. So how they should play.
Yeah. So all in all, I think 2 of us think they'll flip the switch. I don't think Carl thinks they'll flip the switch.
They 6-9. I'm telling you that. We come back next week. We come back next. Yeah, they 6-9. I know that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
We coming back next week. I guarantee it.
That's literally 15 games.
Yeah, 6-9. Yeah, not you, but people talk like they 0-9 or they 0-15.
We come back next week. I guarantee they only win 1 game.
I still won't be next week. I still won't be worried.
Man, they play like 5 games next week. You better be.
I'm not going to take this slow start seriously till after Christmas. I think they'll get everything. They're going to start getting things squared away.
Hey, man, I said the same shit with the Lakers.
Well, the Lakers, their problem is that they suck.
And they ain't got Steve Kerr as their coach.
Yeah, the Lakers are just really bad at basketball. That's kind of their issue.
We'll see.
We'll
see January. You shouldn't. That's a waste of your damn time. Don't do it. We'll see. Like I'm saying, it's not as easy as you think it is. You're saying you flip that switch to great championship teams, but I'm saying these young dudes are not like the younger dudes in the past that came into the league. These dudes are in that second and third year, and their team is already like competing at the highest level. Mm-hmm. Or even third or fourth or fifth year or whatever. So it's just like, it's not the same. Like, you go have eventually Zion's going to come back healthy. You got Luka with the Mavericks. That's not an easy team to beat. Got Ja, obviously, with the Memphis Grizzlies. So and then you got the Suns. You got Portland Trailblazers. They doing their shit.
They ain't doing
got the Nuggets
against Golden State.
If they play Golden State right now, they will blow them out by 20 points.
The regular season.
You know why? But I'm just saying, you know why? Because the Warriors can't play defense.
That's a regular season.
Honestly, even if it's okay, say if I know this is crazy. Say if the playoffs started right now, which is insane because it's like 65 games left, basically 65, 66. I feel like it's a lot of teams that will whoop their ass.
Not in the playoffs. Not if they got that motivation, bro. I'm telling you.
They don't have no motivation, clearly.
But if they get
it ain't there.
Here's the thing, too. Somebody said this. This is the first quarter of the regular season.
By the way, Clay ass is corny. I'd be so sick of hearing him saying, man, they ain't believing us, man. We coming back. We winning. We win. He's just corny. But I'm just saying, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm probably jumping the gun just because I don't like the team. And I don't like the fans. I really don't like the fans more than I don't like the team. But we'll see. I hope I'm right, actually. But
it's just the fans that kill me. It's just like, why are we thinking trade deadline? It's just it's different with the Lakers. Like, you go watch the Lakers, it's clearly a team that doesn't fit. I watched the Warriors. It's a team that fits perfectly well together. They're just not playing well right now. It's that simple. You think Drake, not Drake, you think Draymond knocking Jordan Poole ass out got something to do with it?
I feel like it does. Kind of change that team dynamic. I think it changed the team dynamic. I'm gonna be honest. I really do.
Him knocking him out 6-9. We go look at somebody get knocked out. We're like, hey, they 6-9. That team chemistry was so fucked up. They're 6-9 right now.
That doesn't make much sense to me. That team don't seem the same though. For some weird reason, you would think a punch to the face wouldn't do that damn much, but shit, I don't know, because he did sneak his ass.
He did
probably still recovering from it. But
that is true that they just don't. It doesn't feel the same. Right.
It's like Steve Kerr said, it's like they're playing in the Drew League out there. It's just like one-on-one basketball. It's not a whole lot of ball movement either, even if they average a lot of points. Like we're used to Golden State passing the ball around the circle meaning the 3-point line. I sound old as hell. Passing the ball around the 3-point line, just having motion within the offense. It's really not a lot of motion. It's stuff off screens that Draymond has set, and then that's basically it. And like it's not a whole lot of motions.
And Jordan Poole doing fuck knows what. Now
he's Jordan Poole having the ball on the string, carrying his ass off,
and he's one dude I'd trade. I don't think people are gonna hate me. I'm not even gonna make that point about Jordan Poole right now. But if that's the case, that they're just not moving the ball around, they're just not playing the way they traditionally play, that makes me think it's just a switch. And it's not true, but my thing is, why are we looking so deep into the future, or why are we so doubtful about this team if we know it's just they're just not playing good. Like, you can have a point to where you're just not playing good basketball, and that's what I'm saying.
That's true, but I was just looking at I was looking at the standings and just looking at recognizing the players that are on these teams, the young players that are coming. I don't think it's gonna be that easy like it used to be back in the day. When I say back then, I mean like 5-10 years ago for championship teams just to turn it on. I'm telling you, it's different now.
I'd rely on an older team to turn it on than a younger team to stay consistent.
Okay.
I'd rely on that.
I agree. The older team has more experience, whereas the younger team is just going.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I put my money on what's a young team that's really dominating right now.
Portland? Well, besides Dame.
I'll say Portland because their average age is a young team. I'd put my money on Golden State turning it on and flipping the switch, then them maintaining a number 1 or even top 5 spot in the Western Conference easily.
Okay, well, even because to me, even still at their best, I feel like if they turn it around, I think they're not beating the Suns. I feel like
that's even if they flip it around, because we did talk about this over summer, and you did make this point. It's still going to be a tougher road to the finals for them.
Yeah,
everybody's I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because if they turn around, they become their old selves like they were last year. It's a couple teams that were kind of unhealthy that I feel like would have definitely beat them. Like even though Dallas beat the hell out of Phoenix by like 40 damn points in that game 7, I honestly still feel like if Phoenix faced Golden State in the playoffs, I think it'd be a different result as far as who's in the finals. That's just me though.
I agree.
Nuggets too, if they were healthy, they'd give them a run for their money. I'm not saying the Nuggets would have beat them,
yes.
But I honestly feel like another team I know would have beat them. This is what I know. Because the Clippers got defensive players. I think the Clippers would have got their ass.
If they was fully healthy, yeah.
If they was fully healthy, because you got Reggie Jackson, you got John Wall obviously wasn't there yet, but you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Paul George.
Oh yeah.
Because Kawhi proved to me when he healthy at times he can lock down some of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
Paul George too.
Yeah,
he's proven that. So I'm not saying they go lock down Steph, but they go bother his ass.
Yeah, I can see them. Yeah, gonna get them boys tough time for sure. So yeah, even if I agree, even if they get to that best, my thing is they can get to that level they were at last year. But your great point, that level that they were at last year wouldn't win them a championship probably this year, considering how everybody else is playing. I agree with that.
And that's just what championships are. You get quote unquote lucky sometimes by everybody people that get injured. You're not gonna. That's what because you used to try to talk to me all the time, man. I wish this season healthy. I wish we had Paul George healthy, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, and Chris Middleton, LeBron, and AD. I'm saying it's just not going to happen. It's so unrealistic. We've never had a season where everybody's healthy. It's not possible.
That's true.
Unless we wouldn't be humans if that shit was possible. I'll be honest with you because people just have injuries. So you go run into luck in the playoffs.